Good morning. We're on the record in case number D20617. I've got to go in here because I've lost a number in this case. 617313C. Simpson versus Maxwell. Appearances, please, beginning with Mr. Melgar.
Good morning, Your Honor. Oliver Melgar, 10146, appearing unbundled for the plaintiff Gregory Simpson, who is present through Blue Jeans.
Thank you and welcome. Okay, Miss Sick, you don't look like Mr. Leventhal, but I'll take you today.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Lisa Zick, 11726. I will be appearing on behalf of Mr. Leventhal in this case, in his absence.
Okay.
He's out of the jurisdiction.
All right. I've looked over this, and I've got this little nagging suspicion here. I don't think I've ever seen someone positive for meth on every single patch that she has put on her arm. Usually there's some sort of negative, at least 1 week or something.
And Your Honor, I think that was part of the basis of Mr. Leventhal's underlying motion, but I don't know if the court saw, and it may not have been the appropriate form to file. We filed a notice to withdraw,
I saw that.
and essentially. Yeah, because of Kristen had a C-section yesterday.
How is she doing?
I believe she's doing okay. I haven't actually spoken to her, but I know that Mr. Leventhal's office has been in regular contact with her and her mother.
Okay.
So I think it would be appropriate if we could renotice or reset this matter for 30 or 45 days down the line to give her an opportunity.
Here's what I want, because I've looked a little bit into all of this, and there, you got she says that she's taken metformin and one other drug.
Yes.
I've not had the opportunity to check into it, but there are some drugs out there that will give a false positive. So I'm going to want Mr. Leventhal to do the research. Now, when it comes to cross-contamination and things like that, no. I'm not going to buy that one, because they do too many drug tests for too many other people, and it comes up positive or negative and stuff like that. But I will entertain if she can provide proof that she has taken a drug that is known to show a false positive. I'm going to be looking at that. Plus, she just had a baby. So is CPS involved, or did the baby test positive for meth? I mean, this is something that's going to go a long way at telling us if maybe these have been false positives and we have been too quick to say that this has happened. I don't know her.
My best guess is that CPS is not involved, because that is something that we essentially counseled on based on the options patches. We prepared her for that, and she was instructed to contact either myself or Mr. Leventhal's office immediately if CPS was present at the time of the birth of the child. And to the best of my knowledge, that has not occurred. I will follow up on that today.
Follow up on it, because, if CPS isn't involved, that's a big hint right there that something else is going on.
I agree.
And I am, it horrifies me to think that I may have been cheating this woman out of this time with her child, based on some other medication that she needs to stay healthy. So, please do the research, see if you can find something. And I know Adderall is one of those that can cause false positives, but she's not taking anything close to Adderall. So, that cuts that one out. But
I will. And Your Honor, Mr. Leventhal is out of the jurisdiction, I believe, for the next 6 weeks. He has tagged me in like an of-counsel situation.
Okay.
So I will be making the next, I'm not sure how many appearances, and I've had contact with Kristen and her mom. They are aware that I'll be stepping in for him. So I will step into the role and take on that duty of doing research and working with his office to make sure we get the court whatever it is Your Honor is requesting.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Mr. Simpson, you know this woman. You know this woman better than I will ever know her. Is this a possibility that we may be saying that, are we cheating her out of time with this child that we shouldn't be cheating her out of?
I'm not going to say that. We both have history of drugs. Yeah. So I've been clean for over 10 years now.
Okay.
And meth was the drug of choice.
All right. Well, you know her. This You know, sometimes we have to sit there and really pay attention. And I'm not downplaying the seriousness of meth. I'm not downplaying it at all. It's serious. It's hard to kick. It's, you know, so I know it's a problem once you're on it. It's a problem, but I just got to make sure that we're not going too far the other way on this case.
Yes, Your Honor. Additionally, can I pipe in really fast?
Well, I haven't got to hear from you the last couple of hearings here.
I know, right? So I think Ms. Sink and yourself is correct. Whenever a child is born, they do run those tests, and if those tests do come back positive, then they do notify CPS. I don't know how long that takes typically. But then my client also wanted to address just one small issue with the visitation. On Wednesdays, well, he's looking to change maybe the Saturday from 12 to 4 to Wednesday from after school or 3 to 7. The reason why is because in gymnastics is becoming hard for him to take her while he's at work. So instead of having a Saturday from 12 to 4, she could have a Wednesday from 3 to 7, and then that kind of gives her time in the middle of the week and at the end of the week as well.
Your Honor, I'm not prepared to comment on that at all, because that's part of why we asked to take this matter off calendar, is because Kristen couldn't be here. And also, I don't know, I understand that her mother is acting as a supervisor. I don't know if grandma is available at the times that are being proposed.
Yeah, let's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the two attorneys right now to search into that just a little bit to see if it is something that we can do. I mean, work is work. I mean, if he can't take the time off to make sure that the child is there, we may have to figure out something else.
Oliver, what is the times that you were proposing again?
So she has Saturday from 12 to 4. So instead of that Saturday, it just moves to Wednesday from after school until 7. So she still gets that 4 hours. Yeah. It's just on the Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, if grandma's available to pick him up after school, or pick her up, sorry about that. If grandma's available to pick her up after school, then we could work that in and give her those 4 hours there.
Is Wednesday the only day of the week that works for your client, or if there was another
well,
weekday
Wednesday
that works?
Is the only day she does the gymnastics. That's why.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I can reach out and then let you know.
Okay, and then you could contact Greg directly as well if that faster after the hearing.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so how much time we need to set this out now?
Your Honor, I think it'd be appropriate if we went out about 30 or 45 days, whatever the court's calendar is in that time frame. I think just a short continuance would be appropriate, but it will allow her time to heal and recover from this. She had a C-section, so
yeah, it's usually 45 days because she's still gonna feel it in 30 days.
And Your Honor, my understanding is that I do believe there were, I think she's still on the patch subject to the order. Grandma did ask me to let the court know that I guess morphine is something that's administered during a C-section. I don't know, I've never had a baby, so I think there's going to be some opioid present, at least on this patch immediately following the C-section.
Just let him know that this is happening. We've got to try to figure out a way here to alleviate some of the costs that Mom's going through. I mean, because I know this is expensive, so I want y'all to, put your thoughts together and what's something else that we can do to try to monitor this situation. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, additionally, we're just playing devil's advocate here, saying that he is testing positive for drugs. This is costing my client.
I know, because he's having to pay you.
Is there any way we could set a trial date on this? Tentatively set it out till next year, but at least we have a trial date that we're towards.
Well,
I mean, Your Honor, is he asking to set a trial date on the custodial issue, or are we asking to set a trial date because I think we still have to address the options issue first?
Yeah, this is, they're wanting to set a trial date. Let me put it to you this way. As long as Mom has a drug addiction, that is a medical problem, and I would never strive to permanently change custody due to a medical problem. It would be almost like, you got knocked in the head and you're unconscious for the next 9 months. And unable to do your parenting time. So, we would only work under temporary orders on that. So as long as it's a possible medical problem, I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to go to a permanent order unless we just cannot show anything except for mom refuses to stop using drugs. So we will revisit that when we come back in 45 days. If they're not able to show me that she's using these medications that is causing this situation, and I would have no problems with changing and taking a patch program or something to a different site, but it's going to be something that we need to monitor along the same grounds as Options does.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
So bring me back different options that we can sit here and think about and try to figure it out. And if possible, give it to Mr. Simpson so he can give it to Mr. Melgar a couple of weeks in advance so that Mr. Melgar has some arguments on it. We can't just surprise him with this stuff. Okay?
Sure.
All right. When's our next one?
October 13th at 1:30.
Okay, October 13th at 1:30 is as soon as we've got.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, good morning. We are on the record in case number D20617-313C, Simpson versus Maxwell. May I please have appearances begin with Mr. Harris?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kurt Harris, bar number 554, on behalf of Gregory Simpson. I'm appearing in another capacity with my client online today.
All right, fantastic. And I'm going to talk a little bit slower to give Mr. Leventhal a chance to sit down and take a quick breath before he gives his appearance.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. As court knows, I just got back from my doctor's appointment, so I appreciate the court's giving me a little bit more time to get on. I just got in, and I'm here for Ms. Maxwell. So if the court wants me to make my appearance, it's Todd Leventhal, bar number 8543 on behalf of Ms. Maxwell.
All right.
She is present in my office.
Correct. I've already had a good conversation with her. Well, it was just a quick hello and her letting me know that you're not there yet. So, okay.
Thank you for your patience.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate the quick briefing that you gave. There's only one big problem with it. It says that she can take that medication, but it does not state that she has been prescribed that medication. So, I'm going to be at Judicial College for the next couple of weeks. Uh-oh, he dropped off. There you are.
No, I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to be at Judicial College for the next couple of weeks, and then I'm taking a week off to spend some time with my mother, and then we're still probably a couple of weeks out after that. Mr. Leventhal, is Miss Maxwell, is she there with you in your room now? Because
she is here. If the court wants to see her, come on over.
Yeah.
She's right here.
Okay.
Miss Maxwell's here. She has the prescriptions.
All right, well, what I need, all right, right now, temporarily, I am going to suspend the patch program. Okay, I'm going to leave the supervised with your mother because, every mother wants to see her daughter. So that gives you a chance to visit with your mother as well. So I'm going to leave that in place right now. I want Mr. Leventhal. Well, where do you get your prescriptions filled, Mom?
CVS. I have the prescriptions.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to want. I want Mr. Leventhal to get you to sign a HIPAA release, and I want him to subpoena the pharmacy records from CVS for the past 12 months. Because I want to make sure that this drug has been on it. And by getting something from the pharmacy, then there's, and it's under a subpoena, they sign an affidavit stating that it's a true and correct record. All right? I've got to make sure all of our ducks are in a row. And, but it's, I've never seen anyone continuously test positive without any attempt to get clean. I've not seen it. And still continue with the patch. So right now I'm giving you the benefit of a doubt, but we have to have these ducks in a row because I got to protect this baby. Little Nicole, I got to protect her, okay? And then we're going to come back right around the first part of December. But I don't want you spending the money on a patch right now. What?
Okay. No, she's getting very emotional again.
Don't get emotional, ma'am. Don't get emotional. I just have to make sure everything is in the proper way, okay? But I am suspending the patch program at this point.
December 1st at 1:30.
We're going to come back December 1st at 1:30.
Can we get, Mom's here, Judge? Mom and Grandma are here.
Okay, I can't do a drug test right now because she's expecting one. But what I'm going to do, Mr. Harris.
No. But what she's asking, what are you asking for?
Yes, Grandma, what do you need?
She wants to know if we can get the full visitation with Grandma's supervision.
Can we do from 12 noon on Saturday until 4 p.m. on Sunday with Grandma being the supervisor? Mr. Harris, what do you think of that?
We just have my client would like to stick with what you're on.
Okay, you're cutting out here. You're cutting out really bad there.
Shush.
I'm sorry. I am getting some feedback there. Okay, my client has concerns about that. What the overall concerns are, Joe? That is that this client missed a couple of drug tests that she was ordered to take. And now she's indicating that she's flunking the patch, and she has no proof of that whatsoever. I saw an internet report. 3 women over the last 10 years tested positive, and these people, though, did not have a history of drug use. Now, my client brought up the history of drug use right out the get-go. We're 11 months into this case, 11 months for her to get clean, and we're still running around with these shenanigans about whether or not, it's caused by some prescription or not. I appreciate Your Honor's efforts.
Mr. Harris, let me explain the history here. He may not have totally explained everything. When we first come in here, Mr. Leventhal sent her to a wrong place to be drug tested.
Thank you, Judge.
I turned around, I yelled at him, and then I sent her down to ATI to do a drug test. She never went. So that's when I deemed that she was dirty. Now, for week after week after week, Mom did go in. She put a new patch on, and she was pregnant. She put a new patch on every single week. And it came back dirty every single week, swearing up down she was not doing any drugs whatsoever. Then she goes in and has a baby. And CPS did not become involved, and you and I both know they do a drug test on that baby every single time. I'm going to give her the benefit of a doubt for right now. I want to see her prescriptions. I'm keeping her on supervised visits with her mom supervising. I am going to do that. I'm suspending the patch program for right now. And then I'm going to, you're going to, Mr. Leventhal, when you get the prescription list back from CVS, provide it to Mr. Harris so that both of you can do the research you need on the drugs that she was on to see if she could have popped dirty. Now, getting a false positive for amphetamine is not the same as methamphetamine. They're 2 totally different things. You can, if you have a false positive on meth, you're going to have a false positive for amphetamines as well. But it doesn't go the other direction. But I want to search this out. I want to check for it and make sure that Mom, I'm giving her the benefit of a doubt. I've never seen anyone do these weekly tests without at least trying not to do drugs.
Understood, Your Honor.
They at least try. So I'm going to work with her and see what we can do, but Mom cannot be left alone with the child. Grandma, if you go to the bathroom, you got to take the baby with you. Well, not the baby. We got another baby, the 8-year-old. Okay,
She's obviously here. Okay, and so I understand the court having Mom supervision until we see and get to the bottom of this. Right. And I've spoken to Franny Forsman and some other people who've done a lot of research in this, and you know, I was of the opinion, as Your Honor was, hey, we need to protect. But now that I'm sort of been educated on this, I don't see a problem with getting back to the regular that we had before with the added supervision in place. That's going to protect.
Let's just be a little patient. I know December 1st sounds like it's a long way off, but it really isn't. But I do want Mom.
Subpoena records.
What was that, sir?
How long does it take to get subpoenaed records?
If she does a HIPAA release, you should have them back within 45 days. Mr. Harris, will you please waive the 7-day notice requirement?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Thank you. That way, just you can get, as soon as she signs the HIPAA release and you get this subpoena, you know, you can get it sent out real fast.
If I can get, maybe what does the court require me to subpoena, or maybe I can have my client just go down there and ask for her own records and then submit those to the court, and we can get it on even faster. My concern is, while I understand the court, and I'm not a big arguer with the court when the court says something. I respect it, but the problem is,
I know you, Mr. 11th. I'm just picking on you.
you don't really, but here's my issue. I understand it's October and it's only November to December to the court, but really we got to go back in time and how long we've been doing this. This has been months.
I know it is, and that's why I'm not requiring her to do to wear that patch right now. I'm not going to require that. Mr. Harris, what do you think of her going down and getting her own pharmacy records from CVS?
My only concern, Your Honor, and I'm just coming outside on this, what I would like to see a custodian records on whatever it is that's produced, how many different pharmacies there are, what we're doing. I'm not questioning Mr. Leventhal at all. I just have my concern given the history of the case.
Okay. All right, we're going to have the custodian of records, sir.
Okay, would the court be willing to open up some more time, supervise more time, other than just a mere 4 hours a week?
No. I'm giving her from 12 p.m. on Saturday until 4 p.m. on Sunday.
You want 8 p.m. on Sunday?
Monday.
I don't think that's a problem. 8 p.m. on Sunday?
We can do 8 p.m. on Sunday as long as Grandma's going to be there.
She's there. Come on.
That's just going to be until December 1st.
This is Grandma. This is Grandma. She's
Hi, Grandma. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I just want to make sure, we got a newborn baby that Nicole needs to be able to start bonding with as well. So, we're going to open it up a little bit. We can go ahead and take it to 8 p.m. Come back on December 1st. Hopefully at that point we can get, a regular visitation schedule going without any supervision.
Okay, is there any chance, Nicole has school pictures tomorrow. We wanted to do her hair. We didn't know how this was going to turn out today, but is there any chance that we can get her tonight?
He won't let her go to cheer. He's not going to let her go to cheer.
She's got cheer today, and we normally, Greg and I usually work out a pretty good schedule of picking her up so I can drop her off to cheer.
Here's what I say. Mom cannot be alone. She can go to cheer, but Grandma, you would have to be with her because I'm pretty sure Dad's going to be there. But they're not supposed. I don't want Dad and Mom anywhere near each other. Across the room from each other.
When she goes to cheer, she gets dropped off.
Okay. All right. Well, as long as you are there, I don't want Mom can watch, but I don't really want her to interfere in any way. But I'm going to let Dad do her hair tomorrow morning for school. I know it's heartbreaking, but next year you'll get to do her hair for school picture day as long as everything's good. Okay. But I'll let you go to cheer today as long as your mom's with you.
Okay.
Any extracurricular activities, you may participate in them. But Mom has to be with you or Dad has to be there.
It's just that he won't take her to her extracurricular
Dad,
activities.
take her to extracurricular activities. Mr. Harris, I'll let you talk to him about that, okay?
If if he can't because he's at work, is it okay for him to have us take her? Because if he's at work, he won't let me take her to doctor's appointments.
Hold on. Let me put it this way. And Mr. Harris can do it too. Right now, at this point, Dad has a reasonable suspicion because of past history of drugs. Okay. He's got the sole legal custody at this point. If he thinks that with you having a newborn baby that you're possibly clean, then he can give permission for you to take her to doctor's appointments and pick her up and take her to extracurricular activities. But right now, I'm going to trust him. If this comes back looking like the way it's supposed to look, he knows you much better than I do. Okay? Yeah, I don't know how you are when you're on drugs. He probably does.
He did drugs longer than me, ma'am.
But he's clean and everything. So at least he was. But Mr. Harris, ramifications if things, explain to your client those different ramifications if, custody and visitation is being withheld without good reason. Okay? All right.
Can I chime in, Your Honor?
I believe.
But why don't you talk to Mr. Harris, sir?
Okay, that's fine.
All right, talk to Mr. Harris, and we're expanding Mom a little bit. We're going to take this in baby steps and see what happens in December.
That's fine.
If you get the records back, within 30 days, you can go ahead and let the court know, and if we can put you in sooner, we will. Okay? All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Harris. Thank you, Mr. Leventhal. Mr. Harris, would you do the order for us on this one?
Certainly, Your Honor. I'll do the order.
Okay. And the reason why is Mr. Leventhal's very busy and it takes him forever, and I'd like to get an order quickly in this.
Understood.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Bye.
Have a good night. Listen. Hold on.
Okay, good afternoon. We're on the record in case number D206173113C, Simpson versus Maxwell. May I please have Mr. Harris's appearance?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kurt Harris, Farmer 5354, on behalf of Gregory Simpson. I'm appearing in non-model capacity, and my client is online.
Welcome. And I would ask for Mr. Leventhal, but, we got the gorgeous Miss Zick today.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Lisa Zick, 11726, appearing on behalf of Ms. Maxwell, who is present in my office, but off camera.
Okay. All right. We do not have Mom's prescription report done yet.
Your Honor, I can verify that Mr. Leventhal's office did send out the subpoena to CVS, but has not had a records return from CVS yet. It is also my understanding, in speaking to Ms. Maxwell prior to this hearing, that the parties have reached an agreement that potentially may globally resolve all of the issues.
Dad's shaking his head no.
Okay, so then that is different than what was just expressed to me. That also appears to be news to my client because they just reached this agreement last night.
Yeah, this is a conditional agreement, Your Honor. This agreement is predicated upon resolving these drug issues.
Okay. All right.
So my client wants to make sure that all this is sorted out and settled, and there is an agreement that is to take place, but only after all this is resolved, on the right path.
All right. Do y'all have any idea how long it takes to get the prescription from the report from CBS?
No, Your Honor, but I do know that the subpoena was issued because I assisted Mr. Leventhal's office with sending that out.
Yeah, it was issued on the 27th, and and it's just barely been 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks. So it may take a little bit longer. Do we want to come back in about a month and find out?
I would leave that to the court's discretion. I don't know, but what's interesting, Your Honor, is that none of that was represented to Ms. Maxwell when the parties were discussing this last night. So this idea that it's conditional is news to her. But we have no objection to continuing it if the agreement is going to be honored.
All right. What are we doing for Christmas?
So, based on the agreement that had been reached, there was the idea that the parties would split the day, was my understanding, and that they would have shifts, first period and second period. Based on the fact that there were some deaths in Miss Maxwell's family, there is a family celebration that is scheduled for Christmas Eve. And so her request would be that she be able to celebrate the first period this year, based on the representations between the parties last night. What her understanding is that the period would start the evening before, and then the exchange would happen in the middle of the day on the day of the holiday, and then the other parent would have from that point on until the next day. And her request was going to be that she have the first period this year so that the child could participate in that celebration of life and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with all of the family.
What do you think, Dad? Does that sound good to you today?
Yeah, I'll have to have Mr. Simpson address that, Your Honor. He does not want to let go of the supervisory qualification, though.
Yeah, well, right now I wouldn't let it go yet, but it sounds like everybody's going to be at the celebration of life and the Christmas celebrations. But the supervision would have to continue until we actually get this report in, showing that she is properly taking those drugs that she is taking.
Correct. Mr. Simpson, is that accurate as far as the division of the Christmas holiday?
You're on mute.
I believe Ms. Perry already ruled on that in a prior court order.
I don't remember.
Because we went to mediate that we couldn't come to an agreement on Thanksgiving and Christmas, so you said half the vacation goes to Mom.
Okay, so we're doing... All right. Well, are you willing to allow her to have the Christmas Eve this year?
Absolutely, but what time am I going to have her on Christmas?
Well, you'd probably get him back about noon.
That's fine.
Your Honor, our suggestion was going to be 1 p.m. I think that's what the parties had been discussing. So our suggestion is 6 p.m. Christmas Eve to 1 p.m. Christmas Day. And then that'd be the first period, and then the second period, I guess, at this point.
Does that sound good to you, Dad?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, then we're going to do that. Now, do we want to put the conditional terms on the record, and then if everything comes back on the prescription report, then we just submit the order, or do we want to come back?
Well, I think, coming from our perspective, Your Honor, we would like to come back.
Okay.
I don't know how dispositive this report is going to be. I don't know that we really want to dispense with the patch requirements and a few things. I know my client still has those concerns overall.
Yeah.
But wants to resolve.
Yeah. Well, once we get the prescription report in and see how it is, then yeah, we can move forward from that. Right now, I just don't want Mom spending more money on patches if it's not reporting everything properly. So, so we'll go ahead and come back in a month, and that should be plenty of time. Miss Zick, you can call and find out how their report is going.
Yes, Your Honor, I can have Mr. Leventhal's office do that since they were the office that issued the subpoena with the HIPAA. However, what I would like to do at the court's suggestion is, because it is my understanding and it seems to be the representation that conditionally we have an agreement, I think it would be appropriate to enter the terms on the record so that when...
Right now, we don't have an agreement. So, we're, and they're not wanting to do it. So I'm not going to force the issue.
Okay.
January 5th at 2 p.m.
We're going to come back January 5th at 2 p.m. if that's convenient for everyone.
That's good on our end, Your Honor.
Is that good for you, Miss Zick?
Court indulgence, please. Yes, Your Honor, January 5th at 2 p.m. is convenient.
Okay, fantastic. Then I'll see y'all January 5th, and hopefully we'll have a full report, and hopefully it clears up a lot of stuff here.
Very good. Thank you.
We didn't make any changes today, other than Christmas. I guess we do need a short order for Christmas, setting up what Christmas is going to be. Miss Sick, can you do that for us?
I sure can.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a great day.
All right, good afternoon. We're on the record in case number D206173113C, Simpson versus Maxwell. How is everybody doing today?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris, may I please have your appearance?
Yes, Your Honor. Kurt Harris, burner 5354. I'm Gregory Simpson. I'm in public capacity and my client is online, Your Honor.
All righty, and may I please get Ms. Six?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Lisa Zick, 11726, appearing for Todd Leventhal on behalf of Kristen Maxwell, who is also present via Blue James.
All right, welcome. Where is my order from December 1st? Ms. Zick, you were supposed to provide, to prepare it.
Your Honor, I'm going to tell you that shortly after that hearing, I got COVID, and so that slipped through my
cracks.
cracks.
Come on, that's no excuse. I'm tired of hearing it.
So I can add that back to my to-do list and get that to you probably within 7 days.
That sounds
I can
good.
have it to Kurt.
That
Thank
sounds
you.
good. Are you feeling better?
I am.
Good.
I luckily did not have to be hospitalized, but I was out for almost 16 days.
Woo.
Yeah, I had a positive test for 12 days. It was rough leading right up to Christmas, but
did you at least get to enjoy Christmas?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
I had quarantine period ended like December 18th. So I was like right around the holidays. I was able to enjoy time with my family.
Yeah.
So I apologize for that, but Kurt, I'll send you something over.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now I'm sitting here. I'm trying to.
What I do recall from the last hearing is that we had continued it to today. We were waiting on records from CBS, and what I can tell Your Honor is that despite multiple attempts by not only myself but Mr. Leventhal's office, we have not been able to obtain those records. We have spoken to an individual at CVS, both at the store locally where Kristen receives her prescriptions and at the corporate level. We have sent faxes, we have sent emails, we have said, hey, our next move is going to be to file a motion to compel, and we still have not gotten any response.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the problem we have is Mom is still testing positive, isn't she?
Mom's not on the patch program anymore.
All right, I didn't think she was.
After she gave birth to her infant baby, and there was no issue
that
there.
Gorgeous baby. Come on. The baby can't talk. I want to see the baby. I'm just joking. Baby's probably sleeping, so that's fine.
Yeah, but after there was no issues with the infant baby, and no CPS involvement, Your Honor removed her from the patch program.
Okay. All right, that's right. I remember now that I did that, but I don't have an order showing that. Usually those orders remind me.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
that was not at the December hearing. That had happened several hearings ago.
Yeah. All right. So what do we do here? Because I'm kind of, I'm like Dad. I want to see what her prescriptions are so that I can see what is there.
Yeah, and so, Your Honor, we even went so far as to have Miss Maxwell go into CVS and ask them if they could provide.
Here's what I want. I want her to go get her medical records, because for her to be taking these drugs, she has to have a prescription. So she can get her medical records, which will show all the medications that's prescribed to her, and provide that to Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris can do the research to find out if there's anything there that would normally test positive for meth. We do not need the entire medical records. We don't need to know what these things are for, but but we do want to see what it is, how much she's supposed to be taking, and I want Mom to go do a drug test today.
Okay. Your Honor, we had previously provided as an exhibit to the court a letter from her cardiologist with a breakdown, but we can get an updated letter.
Yeah, when was that one filed, please?
That would have been, and I don't have Mr. Leventhal's entire file in front of me, but that would have been a supplement in advance of hearing with all of the research.
All right. Yeah, she's the defendant. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, the only thing it says here is whatever this medication is. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it. Me and Greek, or me and these languages don't work very good.
Okay, but what I'm asking is would a letter from the doctors on the doctor's letterhead with a list of prescriptions and date of prescribed, would that be sufficient, or does the court want something more
as long
specific?
as the doctor signs it and he's willing to put his butt in a seat saying, yeah, this is what she's taking.
Okay.
You're too young to have heart problems, Mom.
It's from a cardiomyopathy from a virus.
Yeah, I know I'm giving you a hard time about this.
Okay.
But we are going to do this. You know, and what this is now. See, here's the problem that I'm having. You've got certain drugs that will give a false positive for amphetamines, but they're not supposed to give a false positive for methamphetamine. That is its own deal. You test positive for meth, you test positive for amphetamines as well, because that's a metabolite. But it does not, it very seldom goes the other way around. So that is the only reason why I've got concern on this. But I do want Mom to come down here to this. I have ATI by the courthouse down at Pecos and between Stewart and Charleston. And she may want to hang up and just go ahead and head down right now to get there.
That was going to be my next question, seeing as it's 10 to 3.
Yeah, it's
we know
10
what
to
time
3, so, you know, and then let's put, Mom, do you think you can get this from your doctor within 30 days, or do we need to put it out further than that?
Your Honor, I believe we can get this within 30 days. Her doctor has been pretty diligent in responding to requests like this to our office. So
okay, all right, and it's.
So you want to do 30 days? Will we get the drug test back that fast?
Oh yeah, we'll have the drug test back probably by the end of the week.
Let's do February 10th at 2 p.m.
We're going to do February 10th at 2 p.m. And let's hopefully get everything worked out here. Mom, we're going to get off the phone real fast. Yeah, Lisa, will you please do the order for today? That way if the doctor needs to see a court order, we've got it.
yes, Your Honor, and I will also get the order from December 1st done as well.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Mom, go get drug tested. We don't want you to be dinged for not getting there today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. We're on the record in case number D20617313C, Simpson versus Maxwell. May I please have Mr. Harris's appearance?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kurt Harris, bar number 5354, on behalf of Gregory Simpson. I'm appearing in an unbundled capacity, and my client is online.
All right, welcome. Mr. Howard, how are you doing?
Good afternoon, Judge. It's a pleasure. Attorney Jack or John Howard, bar number 1885, together with Lona Webb. Her bar number is 3538. If it pleases the court, I have my client, Kristen Maxwell. You'll hear me refer to her as Brianna because that's the name she uses. I've known her family for 40 years.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. I have a huge concern. Very big concern. And I recognize the fact that you filed the exhibits with the list of medications that she is taking and everything. But on January 5th, I ordered that Mom was to go down and get a drug test. An hour and a half later, she called my chambers and stated that she had COVID, so she couldn't go.
Correct.
Then I turned around and ordered her to go be drug tested on January the 26th, and she is still not gone. So there's two drug tests that she has not gone to, and I am not happy.
I didn't think you would be, Judge.
I'm not sending her for one right now because everybody knows that if you don't do anything for 4 days, it leaves your system. So the next surprise test that I send on her, she better go, or I'm going to deal her dirty.
Judge, I understand and I can explain, but the important thing is I got on this case last week.
That's no excuse for her to go against the court order. She knows what my policies are because she's been in front of me for over a year now.
Judge, you're absolutely correct. If I can, Judge, because of our protocols in the office, I was only able to meet with her Saturday for the first time when she was COVID-free. I instructed her before this hearing before you today that she would go to ATI and be both hair and urine.
It's not going to be today. I will send out an order at some point in the future sending her to be tested, and she needs to show up within 4 hours.
Correct. And she will do so, Judge. I will tell you, I've made it crystal clear with Brianna that she is to be tested. I'm not going to bore you. We have her mother is here as well. She did test positive for COVID. That's the reason she did not test.
Then I want a copy of that COVID test, please.
Pardon?
I want a copy of the COVID test.
I believe we attached it to our exhibit as the.
I do not remember seeing that one. I'm not saying it wasn't, but you know.
It's Exhibit G. It was results of the COVID test from the collection. The most recent one of 2/4. I don't know. We eventually she tested the day after your order for testing. She actually went to ATI, Judge, as you instructed. When she went to ATI, she said, "I'm concerned I may have COVID. What are your protocols?" And they said, "Call your lawyer." And I believe that her former attorney, Lisa, may have communicated, but and so as not to be in disobedience, called your chambers and explained that she had COVID.
But this test that you provided me says it was negative.
No, she had a second COVID test done at the facility next to the YMCA. They told her they would have the results in 3 or 4 days. It took 3 weeks. But here's what I'm suggesting with the court's permission. We understand the issue with the patch, but I can tell you, Judge, and I'm not an expert. I'm not a chemist or a toxicologist, but I can tell you she's provided me with proof that she did, I believe, 12. Excuse me, I strike that.
Yeah, you better not say she's done 12 negative tests because every one of them has been dirty.
Judge, with all due respect, I have results from, I believe, 9 tests that she did with ATI over time. So 9 tests, Judge, with ATI were all negative.
Where is that? I haven't seen those.
Well, you know, Judge, in all candor, I just got in this case last week. I was able to meet with her on Saturday. I will promise you, Judge, I will give you all the test results from the ATI. And Brianna, tell the judge, have you done 11 tests at ATI?
Yeah, 3 hair and the rest urine.
No, I do not accept them unless it is ordered by me and it's sent to me. Anything that comes in through PDF is easily forged. If it doesn't come from ATI directly to me, I don't trust it. Now, I am sitting here. Let's go back to Exhibit G. Collected 02/04/2022. That is 1 month after I ordered her to go for the first test, and it come up negative. It is also about a week after I ordered her to go to the January 26th hearing, or test.
I get that, Judge.
I'm deeming her dirty. She's back on supervised visits. Go back and get on the patch program. You're playing a game with me, and I don't like it. We're going to set an evidentiary hearing. That way we can have experts come in, take a look at everything here, and tell me whether Mom is not clean, but she's back on supervised visits. Throughout the period of time, we will be going in there and having drug testing at ATI so that I get the results.
Well, I would ask the court to, if with your permission, to have her test from yesterday sent over to your
No,
chamber?
because she was expecting it. She had plenty of time to get everything out of her system to come and do it. She will do it when I order it, within 4 hours, or it will be deemed to be dirty.
She is very aware what is at issue here. She loves her daughter. She will do.
I realize that.
everything.
Right now, she has Grandma supervising, correct?
And Grandma's present in my office as we speak.
All right, I will continue allowing Grandma to supervise, but if Dad puts a private investigator in there and Grandma is not following all the proper rules of supervised visits, I will put her to Donna's house or Families First.
Well, what I would like to do is I have a short return date, Judge, and so that you still 100% comply with your orders for testing. What I'd like to do.
She did not comply with my orders for testing because I've ordered it twice. The only COVID test that I have here is, well after the first order that came in. She's trying
Judge,
to blow smoke somewhere, and I'm not taking it.
Well, Judge, I would humbly disagree with your assessment. So I have made it clear with Brianna that she is to follow your orders without deviation whatsoever. So if it's a 4-hour window, and I've let her mom know that as well, her mom has paid for probably 25 tests, all negative. So whatever. But we will comply with your
Don't
orders.
pay for any more tests unless it's on my order.
Okay?
All right.
I'm just...
I'm going to do everything I can to squeeze y'all in at the first opportunity, and that's going to be in August. Calendar call, I do a 30-day stack. Calendar call is going to be July 20th at 3 p.m.
Judge?
Yes, sir.
I would humbly ask you for an earlier setting.
I don't have one, sir.
Okay.
I don't have one. I recognize that. I can put this on my list, but I've already got 10 people that wants to be moved earlier if I can.
I'm not asking for an evidentiary. I'm asking for a status check on the drug testing. I'm not asking for the full evidentiary, Judge.
We can come back on the patch program. We will set that out in 6 weeks.
Are you ordering patch?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
We're back on the patch, and I will also do the ATI.
We're happy with the ATI. The only problem with the patch is, and I'm not a pharmacologist or chemist, but we think there may be some issues with the prescribed medications, but I'll research that fuller, Judge.
Well, I've looked it up. Why, unfortunately, and it may be because of my practicing family law for almost 20 years prior to my taking the bench. Usually somebody who is as young as this beautiful lady is, usually the reason why they're on high blood pressure medication is because they're using speed. So they need something to lower that blood pressure. I don't know. That's why I expect experts to come in and testify. So with an expert, I am going to give you a date certain.
Okay, I'm saying, just for the record, the reason she's taking these medications is that she has heart failure. These medications keep her alive.
And, I don't know that, sir.
Well, I don't know that. To convince you.
When we were here the last time, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Harris can attest to this as well, your client looked like she was tweaking. She wasn't sick. She couldn't sit still. She was wiping her hair constantly. She could not sit still. That's why I sent her for a drug test that day, because she exhibited every sign of somebody who was tweaking.
Okay. Well, I humbly disagree with your assessment.
You weren't there, so you don't know.
That's correct, Judge. I was not.
All right. So, our evidentiary hearing is going to be in August. I'm going to give you a date certain because I do want an expert or two. So the rebuttal dates is very important. Did I already give them to you?
No, Judge.
All right, I'm going to get it. The expert disclosure, I'm doing August. It's going to be April 8th. The rebuttal is May 10th. Let me go to August. I want to make sure I get you a date because experts really need to have a date certain so that they can put it in their calendar.
Judge?
Sir?
I know the August date, but my request was for an earlier date.
We're going to have a status check earlier, but right now I'm setting an evidentiary hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Let's do August 15th. I wish I could do that one sooner. We're 45 days out for the patch program. Well, 6 weeks. It needs to be 6 weeks out. Is that 45 days? Pretty much. I have to break calendars down in my head now. We may. Know that. Okay. Let's do March 30th at 2 p.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Harris, I'm going to let you do the order.
Certainly, Your Honor. My client was concerned possibly getting some weekend time, and perhaps I can address that with Mr. Howard.
Address that with Mr. Howard. Dad does deserve to have some good weekend time, but at the same time, you know, Dad's time's not the one that's limited. Mom's is. So Mom needs the quality time on her time.
I understand.
So address it. Maybe we can get him a couple weekends between here and there. But I'm really going to leave it up to Mom.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.